Welcome to Where We Knit. My name is Kristen and I'm coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you're new here, welcome or welcome back to those of you who have watched my videos before. On this video podcast, I talk about what I am making, mostly knitting, sometimes sewing, and some of my favorite things at the very end of the video that's either knitting related, but mostly not. So today I am talking all about progress on some of the things I talked about in episode 25. This is episode 26. And in episode 25, 2 weeks ago, I talked all about falling out of love with your knitting. And when I said that, it was really a video that was focused on 4 sweaters that I don't wear and I don't really like. And I'm going to repurpose the yarn, rip them out, and make them into something else, as well as some things I needed to fix. And I'm super proud of myself because I have done 2 of those items that I talked about in my last video. So let's get started. It is a beautiful sunny day in Minneapolis. If you notice, I am not in my local yarn store. For those of you who are new to this video podcast, I usually film these podcasts in my local yarn store, Dandelion Fiber Company, here in Minneapolis, just blocks from my house. And today I was feeling a little, I just want to film in my house. I didn't want to gather everything up, transport it there, and then video. So here I am in my home. It's quiet for now, so I thought I'd steal away and film a little bit of some progress that I have from last week. Now, I have made the Fortune sweater made out of Susie from Fiber MacGyver. Has some beautiful buttery suri in the colorway Malibu. And I made this beautiful Fortune sweater, but if you saw it last week, and I'll show a little update on how I did it as a B-roll while I'm talking to you. What happened was it's a sewn down collar. I was new to that several years ago and didn't do such a great job. And literally the collar was like this. Now, if you're not a knitter, you would have never noticed. I wore it this past week to school and nobody noticed. So I pointed it out and they said, oh, I thought that was part of the design. I think it looks kind of cool that way. However, I really wanted to redo it. And so I picked it out, meaning pick it out. I frogged out where it was joined in the inside as a folded hem collar and I redid it. And I'm like, why did I not do this sooner? Took me about an hour to rip out and then about 15 minutes to sew it so it's not diagonal. I mean, it looks amazing if I don't say so myself. I'm so happy I redid it. Now it is even. So previously you'll see on the B-roll, it was literally going this way. I started out on track and then it went haywire. So you'll see that I use those wonderful quilting clips and I'm super happy that I did. Quilting clips are these little, I don't even know if they're called quilting clips, but I also use them when I'm cutting out a pattern for sewing. They keep everything in place while you're cutting, or also for me, I use them, you can see in the B-roll, to kind of keep this straight up and down. So I'm super happy with it and have several years to wear this and can't wait. Now I don't have to look at that collar and be like, I need to redo that collar. I don't like the way it looks. So now I don't have to. So check mark number 1. The other thing that I did, you'll see here, is I ripped out my Weekender sweater. I talked all about it. I'm using Nest by Magpie Fiber. It's a worsted wool. And I did not wear this. It's a beautiful colorway. I think it's called Careless Whisper. And it's a beautiful color. It's beautiful yarn. It's expensive yarn. I wasn't just gonna like toss it. So I ripped it out and it took me all of last weekend pretty much. Literally the entire weekend. Not a bunch of knitting, but I ripped it all out. You'll see here that I soaked it and let it dry and then I reskeined it, reballed it, and I'm super happy. The thing that I am a little concerned about is that it seems to be knitting up at a DK weight, even though it's worsted and I knit it up as a worsted pattern the first time. So my plan was to, excuse me, gotta grab this. My plan was to knit this vest or the cardigan, because I have enough for the cardigan, and my contrast color, excuse me, was going to be this Knitting for Olive heavy merino. Now I swatched it. I do love how it is, you know, the ribbing, because this is a bottom up pattern. The pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, and I will put everything in the show notes. You can also purchase this as a single pattern now, but I love it, but I'm not loving how it's knitting up. So I haven't given it, I did a swatch and I pulled it out. I went up a needle size. It's supposed to be on an 8. I went to a 9. I am not the best colorwork knitter. I will confess that. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go up a little bit farther and see how I like it. But you know, the ribbing is knit up beautifully. And I did get most of the kinks out by soaking it for about maybe 2 hours. And I don't know, we'll see. My plan B is this, to make the Eva cardigan with this recycled yarn. I shouldn't call it recycled because it's not. It's recycled to me, but not to you. So I could make the Eva cardigan with this, which is a DK weight pattern. And I've had it in my queue for a really long time. It's a petite knit pattern. I would steek it. There's ways people have steeked it. So I wouldn't have to go back and forth the whole way. So that would be my second choice. And then I would use this Hudson and West worsted weight. I believe they either call it Forge or Forge. It's Forge. It is their worsted weight wool. I love Hudson and West yarn, and I have 5 skeins of this. This is a little bit more lofty of a worsted weight as along with the Knitting for Olive heavy merino. So choice number 2 for this beautiful vest or cardigan is the Hudson and West Forge or Forge. So I have good plans, you know. I'm really happy that I ripped out that sweater. It had been looking at me forever, and I just wanted to talk about the progress that I made with falling out of love with my knits, but then repurposing them to something or fixing them like I did the Fortune sweater, so I love them again. I'm gonna kind of keep going and do that all summer long. I have 8 days of work left. I know some of you who have come back to this channel are sick and tired of hearing me count down how many days I have left of work. I'm a teacher by day, knitter by night and weekend, and podcaster. And so I can't wait to dedicate more time to my making. So that's 8 days from now. In the meantime, I'm getting ready for a grad party. My son is graduating from high school. Grad party is next weekend. A whole bunch of people coming into town, and it's gonna be a grand weekend. I can't wait. So I'm getting all of those things staged and ready this weekend. So the party is next Saturday. It's gonna be here in less than a week, but we're ready. It's gonna be great. What else am I working on? Well, first I also wanna take a second and talk to you about what I am wearing, because I always forget. So I am wearing, and I'll show you another picture of what it looks like here. I'm wearing it with black linen pants. This is the Farnham tee by the Knit Purl Girl. I have never knit or purchased a pattern from the Knit Purl Girl before. Wow, she leaves nothing unnoticed or unsaid. This beautiful, I mean, everything is just top notch. It should be, because the pattern is 26 pages long. I about died when I saw that. Like literally, it's 26 pages long. I knitted in Sandness Garn Line in the colorway Kit and Black. I do have some left over, but I didn't bring it here where I'm podcasting, but it looks like this. This is a different colorway. I wanna say this is the red, what is it? I'll put it in my show notes. I got this, 4 skeins of this, because I love this yarn so much. I also knit a sweater, the Ingrid Summer sweater, out of this Kit colorway in Line. And it's a DK weight summer yarn. I believe the composition is wool, viscose, and linen. Wait, what is bombo? Oh, excuse me, cotton, viscose, and linen. I should have known that. So it's so great to work with, and I'm gonna make the Ingrid top out of this beautiful bright orangey red. I absolutely love it. And so I got 4 skeins of this week, and that is going to be a summer knit. I am also really making some serious progress on the sweater that I'm making by Sandness Garn called the Fleur sweater. Looks like this. It is crochet. I am not much of a crochet fiber artist, but is that what you call it? Fiber artist? Crocheter. And I need 97 of these cute little flower squares, and I currently have 35. Now my friend Rianda lent me the tool to use to kind of stretch it out. Not stretch it out, but to block it so they're all the same size. I love these. If you are looking for like a summer project where you're doing, I know people make these little granny squares or these little squares all the time. And they are a perfect project for the car. They're a perfect project for just like taking around to the park. If you bring your kids to the park or you're out and about with kids playing in the sandbox, or if you're traveling, these are just, they don't take up much space. And I have been bringing it to work. I do it. I have a 1/2 hour, 30 minutes of unpaid time for lunch. And so I can crank out one of these because it takes me about 15 minutes to make one. So it's super exciting. I am going to keep working on this. I've been working on it for a long time. I put it down for too long, and my friend Lisa had to come over and show me how to crochet these together again because I'm not good at reading a crochet pattern, which this is a paid for pattern by Sandness Garn. So I can't show you what the pattern looks like, but the way that it's charted, it's like very foreign to me and I can't understand it. But now I have it in my brain and I'm gonna go like crazy with these and hoping to get it done sometime this fall. I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube who have created it and this sweater, and it's just darling, it's just gorgeous. They also have the Fleur cardigan, and I watched a YouTube video by a Japanese woman who used a little zipper for it instead of like a button band. It's gorgeous, and I'm so close to maybe abandoning making the pullover and possibly making, I'm gonna link her video so you can see it. It is in Japanese, but you can do closed caption and you can get the captions, the English caption on it. She did a beautiful job. And I'm really tempted to make like a little zip up. I think it would be really cute. So that's progress on the Fleur sweater. What else do I have on the needles? What else do I not have on the needles? Well, I do need to show you another finished object. And this is a pattern by Knitting for Olive. Look at this little bear. Such a cute little hat. So my nephew and his partner are having a baby girl, and they will be here in town for the grad party next weekend. And so I, as a little preview while they're pregnant, knit them this cute little baby hat. I can't wait to give it to them next weekend. And that leads me to the other thing that I was talking about. I was obsessed with knitting baby stuff. Like this was I mean, I can't wait now. So of course, I found this cute little Seaside Set. I only have enough yarn for the sweater, and I am going to make their upcoming babe this beautiful Seaside sweater. Has a cute little raglan buttons here, and I am using my leftover Buttercup cotton by Purl Soho, 100% organically grown cotton. And I'm using also some Bear, it's a superwash wool by Knit Picks, as the white contrasting stripes. So 2 skeins would make like a 3 to 6 month sweater. So I can't wait to get started on it. Their baby's due in November. So I will try to get it done sometime this summer because baby knits, wow, if you are knitting baby knits, they are so gratifying so quickly. So I'm really excited to do that. So that's an upcoming project for me. Let's also talk about, I'm working so hard. I'm so committed that I am going to pledge, I'm not sure the word is. I'm going to really try to finish this cocoon cardigan in the camel that was gifted to me by Purl Soho. I have had this on the needles way too long and I want it done. So this Memorial weekend, I have just been, I'm using, so this is the camel, Simply Camel. It is undyed. It's a natural brown of a camel, 50 grams, 100% camel yarn, made in Peru, baby camel. And I can't wait. It's like this amazing, I'll show it to you. I know I've talked about it before, so I apologize for the repeat on it, but people, it's like butter. And so I'm just increasing. This is the second sleeve. I know you're looking at it like, what? That's a sleeve? You'll see it on the picture. I love it. It's such a meditative pattern. And this yarn, I'm holding it double because it's a DK weight pattern. This camel, I would say it's very cashmere-like. I might even like it more than cashmere. I'm not sure. So I'm going to really try hard to have this done in the next taping in 2 weeks. I will be on summer break at that time. Grad party will be over and I will be footloose and fancy free and knitting 8 hours a day, I swear. So this is the cocoon cardigan. Can't wait to have it done. I am really gonna try hard to have it finished for the next podcast taping. So fingers crossed, we'll see. I really am trying to not be one of those podcasters, which if you do this and you're a podcaster or you watch someone and you love them and their aesthetics so much, I am not gonna put them down, but it makes me crazy when people like talk about things and then they never finish them. And I have been doing that on this podcast. And so I'm really sort of revamping and journaling and talking about, okay, you talked about this in episode 13. Your subscribers want to see it done. Like, come on. So I'm doing it. What's next? So Mr. Where We Knit. I've never knit him anything except for a beanie. And he doesn't even, well, he does wear it, but it itches his head because he's bald and it was a little too scratchy. So I'm always asking if there's something else I can knit him with, more, maybe like a cashmere or something softer. And he just sort of poo-poos it. And he also is very particular about what he wears. So he is 100% in charge, obviously, of his own wardrobe. However, I talked about a few weeks ago about self-striping yarn by a woman in Canada. And the name of her company is Turtlepurl. And I talked about her colorway that looks a lot like, Burberry. And I had made socks and I was going to make the toast mitts, which I'm still going to. I don't want to just say I'm going to and then not. But, excuse me. She gifted me some other colorways. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because Mr. Where We Knit thought this was a lovely colorway. Now, it is not coming out very well in the shadows of inside my home, but this looks like it's blue, but it's not. It's actually gray. So striped turtle toes. I love how she puts them in 2 matching skeins. This colorway is called In My Element. And I got these 2 little minis for the heel and the cuff. Heel, toes, cuff. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But Mr. Where We Knit has humongous feet, size 11 feet. But he thought he might wear a pair of socks. So, Mr. Where We Knit, he asks, he shall receive. I am so happy to be knitting him something. So, Turtlepurl, thank you so much for gifting me In My Element. And then also, I've always wanted to make myself a pair of Christmas socks. You're thinking, it's almost June, why are you thinking about Christmas? Because I do. Look at this. Sugar Plum Waltz. Are you kidding? How adorable is that? And she shows you exactly how it knits up. It's so cute. It's so cute. Thank you, Turtlepurl, so much. These will be my Christmas socks in 2025. So those are some acquisitions, some gifted items to me. I also want to talk about the Wandering Flock Cotton Lino. I'm so excited to use this. So we saw, I say we, Tiff and Laura, who own the shop that I teach classes at, Dandelion Fiber, they just got in this Wandering Flock Cotton Lino. It's a sport weight yarn, 100 grams skein. It is cotton, mulberry silk, linen, and baby yak. And I have this cute little colorway, which is lilac. And I am making the iris tank top. The iris tank top is a beautiful lace knit, bottom up, cute little ties right here. I am using this beautiful lilac Wandering Flock for that. It is a pattern by Avec Anna. It is a fingering weight pattern, but I got gauge, so I'm going with it. So here's what it looks like so far. I am loving how it's a very easy meditative pattern. The repeats, you can't put stitch markers in between because there's a knit 3 together and it falls off on where you start and where you finish. So you just have to pay attention. But I mean, I did it last night while we were watching the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves, go Timberwolves. And I was easily able to keep track of it. So it's so soft, it's so beautiful, light and airy. I'm excited to have it for summer. So that's another cast on that I have. So I'm gonna keep trudging along. I'm gonna keep working on taking out some of the sweaters that I don't wear and repurposing the yarn. I'm gonna get going on this. I want to figure out the name of this by Caitlin Hunter. I want to say it is, it's called the Nordic Bloom. Yeah, that's it. And I want to get going on it. It's a worsted weight pattern. I feel like even though it is a cardigan, it is a steeked cardigan. So I'm super excited about that. Here's the vest. Here's the cute little, there's also a cute little cropped, so cute, cardigan. So I'm going to keep going and, see what I can get done on that. So 2 cardigans. I'm crazy about cardigans these days. So I'm going to be doing an episode probably in the fall or this coming winter. I'm kind of writing some things down about all the cardigans that I have knit and my top 5 favorites. All right, what else did I want to show you today? I also, speaking of cardigans, so something that's on my wish list that I've had this yarn for a really long time, it's a local yarn called Wild Barn Yarn. And this is a worsted weight wool 3-ply CVM Rommeldale. And I have enough, which I purchased it for that. I have enough for the Dagmar Jacket. So I'm kind of debating between the half zip by Petite Knit or the Dagmar cardigan, and I think I'm gonna go for the cardigan. It is an all over cabled cardigan, and I'm crazy about it. I think it would be amazing as like a fall jacket, but also would be really, really warm in our cold Minnesota winters. So I'm thinking about that would be something that I'm dabbling with this summer. Now, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I do have a lot of time in the summer to do crafting and teach classes and do my own knits, but again, I don't want to say I'm going to knit it and then not do it on the channel. So I'm going to maybe swatch for it, see how I like it. I still have a couple other things that I ripped out this winter that I need to finish and knit. So my focus will be finishing for sure this cocoon cardigan with the baby camel, and then moving on to that In Bloom by Caitlin Hunter, and then move on to some, drum roll please, sewing. I recently went through some of the sewing projects that I had on my wish list, but also for things I didn't finish. So I had been going to a place called Lake's Makery. Lake's Makery is the most amazing fabric store here in Minneapolis. And there was a woman there who did open studio classes where I could go in, ask her some questions, be there for 3 hours, and she just would walk me through the pattern. She's not there anymore. She retired. And so I need to meet up with some of the new people who are doing it there. There's a gentleman by the name of Evan who's amazing, an amazing sewist. You could follow him on Instagram. And he just does amazing work. And I know that he does an open studio, and I gotta just check him out. So anyhow, in the meantime, that's the word I'm looking for. I am trying to finish this cute little top that you can wear it with a deeper V, which is on the back, or a shallower V in the front. It has these billowy sleeves that will kind of taper in, and I can't wait. It's like a balloon sleeve shirt. It's called the Imby, Imby's Flowy top. And the reason why it's taking me so long is that I am not a great sewist, and it was a free pattern, and it was super bare bones. And so I need help with my friends Lara or Tiff or Joan to kind of help me figure out and finish that shirt. I don't have a lot left. Again, it was this beautiful Japanese fabric that I got from Lake's Makery. So I need to finish it so I can wear it this summer and for sure this fall. Something else that this is almost embarrassing. I have had this pattern cut out for over a year, and it is called the Tie Dress by Sewing Therapy. I'm sure you've seen it if you are a sewist. There's tons of hashtags and projects on Instagram, and so I have it, excuse me, let me grab it here. I have it cut out, literally. So the top will look like this, and the bottom has these like side panels, which will look like this. And then the ties will also be this printed fabric. So I'm excited that it's kind of two-tone. And I can't wait to finish it and wear it this summer. So 2 sewing projects that I kind of have right up here. And I think that's it for today. One of the things that I wanted to shout out is I met Sheri Balke in Nashville. Sheri watched my channel. She was lovely. I'll put a picture of us up here. And Sheri, I had no idea, had an Etsy store called Sheri Balke's Garden House. And she's a beautiful artist. And she sent me the most amazing gift. And so I thanked her a while back, but I want to shout out her stuff on the channel. That's not why she sent it to me. She graciously sent it to me as a friend. And I love stationery, so even better, but I think this is hysterical. Got yarn, and it's a little tablet. So Garden House Knits. And then she sent me some of these beautiful notepads and cards. Like, are you kidding me? I have to show you this too. Look at this cute card. Perfect to send to your pals, your knitting pals. And then I love, love, love this so much. So there's this beautiful painting on the bottom. And then along the outside here are all of these abbreviations for knitting. And so I love this for just to write down notes about my knitting. She has stickers. Check her out. I'll put all of the information that I talked about the entire podcast in my show notes as well. I'm gonna come to a close and talk about some of my favorite things. So I have a scone recipe that I can't share with you, but I took the time this morning to make some scones for a friend who loves scones, who I will see later today. I love to either bake scones and give them to friends, or to have them in the freezer and unbaked and then give them to people. So when they have holiday guests, or if we go to someone's cabin, it's nice to bring them to a cabin. So you freeze them unbaked, and then you take them out of the freezer frozen and bake them fresh. So I made a bunch of scones this morning. So when we have guests next weekend for the grad party, we can easily just pop them in the oven and have fresh scones. So that's one of my favorite things. But my favorite thing about the whole story of making these scones is that my son, who is graduating, since he was 8, had a scone stand at the end of our driveway. Well, first it was at the end of the block, and then because of crime and things like that, we kind of moved him down, and he's at the end of our driveway. We posted on Instagram and Facebook when we are having a scone stand. And I say we because I've always kind of helped him with it. But the cool thing about it is that I have just sort of I've been collecting photos and things like that, and memories from when he was growing up for this grad party to set out. And there was such a presence in his life with making these scones each summer. And then he would have to pick a charity, and he would donate 10%, 15%, or his tips that he would get from friends and neighbors that would come and buy his scones and donate to a different charity every summer. And I'm so proud of that. Like, I think that's amazing. It's one of my favorite things of something that he's done in his life that I think is truly amazing. And so this is like the last summer, and he's busy as a job. He's going on a mission trip. He's a camp counselor. And so this summer, maybe he will do it one time. It was so cool to do that with him. It was really amazing to watch him interact with other adults in the neighborhood and talk about, where he was donating some of the money. And then also, he would make money doing it as well. And he would have to pay me for helping, and he would have to pay for ingredients. And so the scone stand was just such a really cool memory. And it's one of my favorite things I'll keep in my heart about him growing up. I'll pop a couple pictures up here. I mean, when I say a scone stand, so I'm telling you, like the first couple of years he did it, he would sell out like 100 scones. And I'm not kidding. Like, it was crazy. $2.50 for a scone. I think they went up to $3 just, after the pandemic and things, like prices went up on ingredients. But started out with scones and coffee, and then just scones. And so it's kind of a really cool memory that I will grasp onto forever. So I made scones this morning. It's one of my favorite things to do for prepping when there's guests coming to the house, or also as like a hostess gift. So find a good scone recipe and go the whole way where you're kind of making them all the way until you're making them and cutting them, freeze them, and then see if you can bake them later. So like a take and make. So that's one of my favorite things. My next favorite thing is, so you know that I'm a teacher of young children. And so one of my favorite authors I adore is Chris Monroe. And she has this whole series. So if you're not into this, you can turn it off. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and give a thumbs up to my channel. But anyhow, I wanted to tell you about this because even if you don't have children, or maybe you're a grandparent, or maybe you're a neighbor of young children, whatever it might be, give it to your child's teacher for a classroom book. It is Chris Monroe, who is actually a local artist. She was at the time that she created this book. I don't know if she still lives here in Minnesota, but it's called Monkey with a Tool Belt. And then that's like the whole premise. And then there's different issues. So, and then very noisy problem. Number one, like he has this tool belt, and my kids were bananas for this book. You know, they're old now. They're like 20 and 18. And so, you know, she signed it, and I mean, the illustrations, and it's hysterical. And he meets this little friend named Clark, and Clark also, he's the elephant in the story. Well, anyhow, I learned that she also has, like, I think it's a Netflix series, but you can also check it out on YouTube. I'm gonna link her stuff, all of her info in the show notes, but check out it. And the monkey's name is Chico Bon Bon. And so my students at school love Chico Bon Bon. And if they're like in a bad mood, I can just kind of go up to them and give them a little shoulder swipe and say, Chico Bon Bon. And they think it's hysterical. And they immediately stop crying and start laughing. Because who doesn't love a monkey with a tool belt named Chico Bon Bon? So that's another one of my favorites. So check out Chris Monroe's books and her series on Netflix/YouTube. It's all of these cute little animated stories. And then lastly is another book, but it's a cookbook, and it's an oldie but a goodie. It came out in 2015, and I don't know if you know him. He was on the Food Network for a while, Curtis Stone, Good Food, Good Life. And I busted this out because we're hosting some friends tonight for dinner, and I was like, you know, I'm always using all of my recipes on the internet and look up, you know, like an ingredient and what I have and whatever. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna look through a cookbook this morning and see what I can make. See what I've made before that I really like out of this cookbook. And I am making this Baja salad, which it's like a Mexican salad with cojita cheese, pickled red onions, which you wouldn't have to do. It does have a cilantro dressing, so if you like cilantro, great. If you don't, and modify it. Crushed up like yummy homemade tortilla chips on the top. I am making it, and it's one of my favorite salads, and I haven't made it in years because I'm so fixated on getting recipes from the internet or whatever it might be. And also making these pork burgers with this like yummy special sauce, homemade pickles, pickled red onion. So that is what's for dinner tonight here at Where We Knit. Thanks for watching. If you liked my videos and would like to see more, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I can't wait to see you next time. I will be footloose and fancy free. I'm hoping to have some serious project or process finished on this, and also have a more solid plan of what I'm gonna do for this amazing, where is it? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. The vest, the Caitlin Hunter vest. I want to say it's in Bloom. Anyway, everything will be in the show notes. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Goodbye.